Welcome back to the Full Force Fathers podcast, Dave, episode number 97. What's going on today, man?
Oh, not much. We are finally a little warmer here in Nashville, so I'm not freezing my butt off. Still wearing the hoodie, though, because it's still winter. Big winter. But, man, we're doing good. It's nice. Been out playing football with the kids, doing all sorts of fun stuff. We are rocking and rolling with 75 hard. We haven't given an update there in a while. So, yeah, man, things are good.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, it's been splendid here.
How's the desert?
In the upper 70s for the last week straight. But we got a little bit of rain coming in here in the next couple of days. But overall, it's perfect. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts every day like usual. So, yeah, nothing new to report here. 75 hard is going well. 20. So I don't even know. I have to look at my thing. I think I'm 26 days in or 27 days in. Going good with that. Been a couple close calls. I will admit that there's been a couple close calls with 75 hard, just between school and activities and all that other stuff. So, but no, still going strong. How about you?
Dude, this has been my best trip so far through 75 hard. And it's not even close for me. I've gotten into an incredible routine of doing things at pretty much the same times every day. That's made a big difference. I've mixed up my workouts so that it's not all on the legs anymore, which has helped significantly. I feel stronger than the day I started. I feel significantly healthier, and my mind is in a great spot right now. So it has been wonderful for me.
Yeah, no, I love the transformation part, because a lot of people, as Andy would say, it's not a physical challenge, not a weight loss challenge. It's, those are just byproducts of the system. But man, I'll tell you, picture day 1 versus picture day 26 it's totally different. I mean, I set you the progress pick on day 10, I think, and you're like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's not about the diet and the working out, because as you all know that listen to the show, that's part of my life is I work out 3 hours a day anyways. It's just the diet. It's the cutting the bullshit out that changes it. That's the changer. That's the shredder. That's the big difference when it comes to if you're close and you're on the fringe of wanting abs or biceps or whatever. It's cutting out the garbage that will shred you up. You know what I'm saying? So some people are all about losing. You got to lose the big chunk of weight first. You got to focus on a lot of that stuff. But let me tell you, when you cut out garbage, cheat meals, or whatever you constitute for your diet in 75 hard, like, it takes no time at all to see when you stop feeding your body fats and sugars and unnecessary garbage processed carbs. It's amazing the transformation that you can see in such a little bit of time, because I'm guilty of it. I was always guilty of it at night, having a snack at night. I've cut that out. Dinner's my last meal, dude, and it's undeniable the differences. And I'm only someone that's already only 6'5", 204. So I'm not trying to lose weight. But it's undeniable when you cut the garbage out and the toxic out of your system.
Yeah, one of the amazing things for me, and it's because you're getting those toxins out of your body, is once you've been eating clean for a few weeks, and you've taken care of your body, you're exercising regularly, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do. It's amazing how you can tell what your body's doing. Like when you put something in your body, you can tell how that little bit of food, whatever maybe it was, how it affects your body. Maybe it's the scale the next day. Maybe it's just the way that you feel. Maybe the way your picture looks the next day. Like, it's truly amazing. You can really start to find like what foods work better for you than other foods, and like the different types of carbohydrates you're eating or proteins, and like how they affect your entire body. It's amazing how the senses go up when you have all that junk out of you.
Yeah, it is truly amazing. And speaking of, being ripped and being in great shape, dude, you got 2 guys here on the numbers list that are 2 of the freakiest athletes you'll ever see in your life. And so why don't you kick us off with number 97 and the 2 big names that are on that list?
Yeah, there are 2 big names. And believe it or not, dude, the one that's retired is not in the Hall of Fame. And it's astonishing to me, and I don't really know why. So Simeon Rice started with the Cardinals, went over to Tampa Bay. That's where he really made a name for himself.
Oh my God,
freak. He had 122 sacks in 174 games. He was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year back in '96. He was a 2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. He hasn't even made the finalist list. He's made the semifinalist twice. but has not made the finalist list. It's staggering. He's got more sacks than the likes of Charles Haley, but not in the Hall of Fame. And he plays a position where it notably defensive end, edge rusher. You get a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame at that position, and he has just not been shown the love, and it's astonishing. I mean, Derek Brooks in his Hall of Fame speech had said Simeon Rice was probably the best pass rusher he's ever seen in his life, and not in.
That team, you could argue, is one of the greatest defensive teams ever. I'll never forget it. They smashed the Niners in the first round of the playoffs that year. Like, we didn't score. It was 31-0, 31-3, 31-9, something like that. I mean, it was a complete devastation. Then they destroyed the Eagles, I remember, in the NFC Championship game that year. And then they destroyed the Raiders in the Super Bowl. That defense was so good, it was not even funny. They had Warren Sapp. They had Simeon Rice. They had Derek Brooks. They had Rondé Barber. They had John Lynch. Dexter Jackson was the Super Bowl MVP of that team, and no one even knows who he is. They had so many players. Shelton Quarles, McFarland. Everyone, the credit goes to the Ravens defense when they won. Remember when they beat the Giants in the Super Bowl that year?
Mm-hmm.
That goes down, the 85 Bears, that 2000 Ravens team. That 2002 Buccaneers team was disgusting. And like I said, John Gruden came over from the Raiders. They destroyed Rich Gannon. It's kind of unfair because he knew the team and he knew the players and all that other stuff. But the defense side of that ball it reminded me of the 2000 Ravens, of that Seahawks team that killed Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, of the Carolina team that didn't win the Super Bowl that year with Peppers and Buckner and Rucker on the line. Man, that team and Simeon Rice was you could argue, John Lynch, all these guys, dude. Simeon Rice was the best. You could argue was the best defensive player on the team. Insane, freak athlete, freak. So,
for sure.
The fact that he's not in the Super Bowl is crazy. In the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Speaking of Super Bowl, you just mentioned there, coming up in the Super Bowl, another 97, Nick Bosa. He's got some pretty good numbers. He will probably most certainly be in the Hall of Fame, barring some freak injury or retirement that comes his way. But 68 games, 53.5 sacks, 10 forced fumbles. He was the 2019 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, the 2023 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Dude is ridiculous. I mean, how many sacks did he have in the NFC Championship game? Was it 2? Did he end it with 2, or did he have more than that?
Yeah, 2. And the thing is, when he has these games with 2 sacks, 3 sacks, he really could have 6 or 8 sacks. You know what I mean? The way he pushes, he alters the game on the defensive line. He's going to be a Hall of Famer when he's done, as long as he finishes out his career. What a family! His brother is an All-Pro defensive end for the Chargers. His dad was a player in the league, dude. He's a freak. And think about it. His numbers would be even better. He's got 53.5 sacks. He probably would be at 70 already. He'd have more sacks than games played if he didn't, the knee. He had he lost the whole season for the ACL. You know what I mean? Or his numbers would be even bigger.
Yeah, it's true. He's remarkable. Great to watch. Hey, we'll see him in the Super Bowl. Maybe he'll add a couple more sacks to that list. But yeah, Nick Bosa makes the list.
I would like to bitch about that Super Bowl because he played in 19 when he was the NFL Rookie of the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he never, he got held. I'll bitch about officiating. He got held more in that game against the Chiefs in 2019 than I have ever seen any defensive end ever get held in a game, and no flags were thrown. And I know they blew a 10-point lead, and that's that's their own fault that they lost that Super Bowl. It's not because Bosa wasn't getting calls, but he literally could not get a call in the Super Bowl when they would literally have to double team him and hold him every time. But then again, that's a bigger picture of the NFL in general. You could probably call holding on every single play. How slow do you want the game to be? You know what I mean? If you call holding a flag on every single fucking play on, one of these elite defensive ends, it would ruin the game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure it would. No doubt about it. No doubt. All right. Nobody else in the NFL that really worth talking about here. Nobody in baseball. Nobody in the NHL. Nobody in the NBA. But you know where we do have somebody? NASCAR. There's somebody in NASCAR, boy. And he's a big name, big household name. Kurt Busch, brother of Kyle Busch, had 184 starts in the 97 car. He had 14 wins in the 97 car. So the longest career driving 97 and the most successful as well.
Now, which Busch brother is he the better of the two, or is Kyle the better driver?
You know, I think Kyle was the better driver. I think Kurt was the crazier one.
Which one drove? Was the 97? Was that the M&M's car? Was that him?
I don't know.
I thought one of them was sponsored by
Kyle.
M&M's.
Kyle was sponsored by M&M.
Okay, I was wondering. I'm like, who the hell?
Kurt was like Irwin Tools, I believe.
Irwin Tools. I have to look it up while we're on the show because now.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
just typing
fine.
in Kurt Busch number 97 car. I want to know what it looked like because like you said, I knew one of them was an M&M car. No, so 97. It looks like Sharpie.
Sharpie, okay.
So one picture is. I'm just going to images. I see the Sharpie number 97. What else here? Monster Energy number 97. It looks like the Sharpie was the main one for sure. But you're right. There's 97 Irwin. Maybe that was early in his career because that looks like a little bit older of a car. But yeah, I see the Irwin and I see Irwin Tools and I see Sharpie for the most, pretty much on all the videos. So yeah, man, good driver. Yeah, so he was the one that liked to punch people,
for
right?
Sure. Man? Yes. Yep. Yeah, that was Kurt. Yep. Yep. He was great at that. So hey, it was always fun. But we go back. That was back in that heyday. We talked about it last week of Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. You know, there's just some huge names there. Earnhardt. It was great, man. It was always a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. I told you that. I swear, like our middle school and high school years was like the golden era of NASCAR. Like 95 to 2005. It was just nuts.
Yep, for sure.
But any other numbers? Any other numbers? Or are we going to move on from Kurt Busch?
We're moving on.
All right. Well, we're jumping into the Bible, and I got a little bit long passage. I'm going to read it right out of the book today because I saw a bumper sticker the other day. It said Matthew 5:5, and obviously I know Matthew 5:5, and it talks about the meek will inherit the land, right? That's Matthew 5:5. So I'm like, I want to go back and I want to read a little bit more of Matthew, and I'm going to read it out of the Bible right now. I'm going to just start with straight up Matthew chapter 5, and it's the introduction to the Sermon on the Mount. And it says, now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them the Beatitudes. He said, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. That's a lot to stomach. But I just, once again, I'm relating Bible verses to the current era. Like we always say, it's amazing how long ago the Bible was written, but how much history repeats itself, right? And people that are in the church, Catholics, Christians, you name it, they are being persecuted every day right now in the name of diversity, equality, not science-based facts, and if you believe in a man and a woman, and you follow the Bible, that's inherently wrong in today's day and age, and you're a racist or you're misogynistic, whatever they want to call you. But the Bible at its very basic core is a book about love and peace and bringing the world together. And there's so much division in outward thinking right now when you just have to go back to the book. No matter what chapter you read, what verse you read, the book of John, Matthew, Mark, you name it. It's just crazy to me. Is just go back, just pick up your Bible and read Matthew 5:5. It's tremendous when Jesus is teaching, and how basic, right? How basic it is, just the simple words, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. It in today's world, it's just so ass backwards, man. I don't know. I don't know how you want to tie it into a rant that's coming from us, but it's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to show too, like you do the things the way that they're supposed to be done. You're a good person. You do things the right way. You treat people with respect, the way you would like to be treated. You're always putting God first, loving God. You will be taken care of. Um, and it just goes. I think it's just further proves the point that like you said, this was written so long ago that how it still matters today. If we can focus on doing the right thing, continuing to push forward, always praising God. God is the one that we should be bowing to, the only one we should be bowing to. And as long as we do that, our eternity is going to be taken care of, regardless of what happens on our time here on earth.
Yeah. And it just, there's so many things that can be said, from this verse. And we had a great conversation earlier, and that kind of sparked, the passion for today's episode, because, and I was talking to Dave earlier, and I said, as Full Force Fathers, I feel, and when you agreed, we've gone away from what the passion that brought us to this show. Like, we came together and created this show to bring, fatherhood to the forefront, how we have to be there for each other, and how can we help each other, you know what I mean? And it starts with your physical fitness and your faith and your finances, and how much passion there is lacking in the world. And I said something to you along the lines that, like, we're in a really wacky time right now in the world, and men need to stand up, fathers need to stand up and be the example. And I actually, it was kind of somber what I said to you. And I said, I don't think enough people fucking care anymore. Like, what good is it if you and I put this show together and we strive for personal excellence and we say all these things, and we want to take dads along with us on the ride, and we want to see every father succeed, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think enough people fucking care to turn it around right now. I just think laziness and being broke and no faith in God, and being a fat ass, I just think it's so rampant right now. And I just think the lack of sheer willpower in people, and the lack of caring. People don't, there's been not enough wake-up calls in the world of looking at yourself in the mirror from a physical standpoint, right? Let's just go from a physical standpoint. Looking at yourself in the mirror, you're a fat, overweight piece of shit. And there's not enough care in those people right now that say, who fucking cares? Whatever. It is what it is. This is me. Move along day by day. Or looking at your bank account and not having any fucking money in there, and always worrying about the next fucking bill. Listen, I posted something on my Instagram, my personal page today. We were not put on this earth to pay bills and die. That is not the fucking meaning of life. Go outside is what I said. And it's a picture of a mountain cabin in the woods. We are not put on this earth to pay bills and die. That's the financial side of it, right? And from the faith side of it, man, how many people, they don't talk them, especially I see, with kids, how many parents are not passing off their knowledge in the Bible and church to their kids? They're lost in this world. And there's a tragedy, and I'm not going into it because it's not my place to say anything other than there was a tragedy recently here in the neighborhood with a young child. And it's a fucking shame that the lack of caring and the lack of being present as a father, can prevent some of these things from happening. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm being a Debbie Downer today, Dave, but I look at the big picture, and there's not enough people that care to turn this around right now. There's just not.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a good point. Are there enough people to turn it around? When you look around, I mean, you don't see many people doing the things they need to do to take the steps to become better, to be personally excellent, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that all the time. Personal excellence is what we're always striving for. I don't know about you. I mean, every time I ever get a chance while I'm on 75 hard, it's easy. I'm always telling people what I'm doing. Everybody at work asks me, why you take such a short lunch? Where are you going? Oh, I have my lunch real quick and I'm going out and I got 45 minutes to do. Throwing on my weight vest. People are always smiling at me, thumbs up, this or that. But you know what? I rarely see anybody else doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had one other person join me on a ruck.
Yeah.
So it's like, do people really care? I don't know. I hope so. I hope this message is making a difference. If it affects one person, that to me makes it feel like we're making a difference and doing the right thing. But is it enough to turn it around? I truly don't know anymore. I truly don't. I don't know if we've gone too far. I mean, we have hundreds of thousands of people crossing the border every single day that don't want to be here for the right reasons. They're not coming here to start a better life for themselves. They're coming here to cause mass chaos here, and they want a free life in a better country. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know that we're converting enough people every day to outweigh the amount of people that are just streaming into our country right now. Now, hopefully, we get to the point where people say enough is enough, and they start focusing on being better, and it's a trickle down effect. I'd like to think that the people that we're reaching with this message are taking steps to become better fathers, to be full force fathers, to be a better example for their children. But at the end of the day, dude, it is bad out there. Like, this is such a small thing, but it's shit that I notice, right? I told you about this not too long ago. A few weeks ago, somebody came by in the morning and they threw out CDs right by everybody's mailbox on the street. Okay, and they didn't put them in the mailbox. They threw them on the ground next to the mailbox. There are still CDs sitting next to people's houses, next to their mailboxes. People that I know go out and get the mail every single day. I see them go and get the mail every single day. I see them bring their garbage out right next to it, and they don't even pick it up. They don't even bend over to pick up to take care of their own property. Like, that's the kind of level of not giving a shit that scares the crap out of me. Because for every one or two of us that are doing this, there's hundreds of thousands of people who could literally care less. There's people that don't care if they're getting a government handout. They're happy about getting a government handout. They want to have everything given to them. They're expecting everything to be given to them because of what? I don't know, but that's the expectation we've set. It is terrifying to think the direction in which we're headed, because I don't know if enough people are doing their part right now.
Yeah, that's it's funny you say you picked up the CD thing the other day, and you know me, I go up and down my hill 10 to 15 times a day, every single day, and I see the same cars drive every day. Everyone waves, and I'm thinking to themselves, like, that guy, they probably think I'm fucking crazy. Here I am, my weight vest on, shirt off, hammering up the hill, sweating. Just, it probably looks miserable, but I'm smiling the whole time because I love it. And the other day I came across somebody, and first of all, at the bottom of the hill the other day, to the point of your CD, there was a piece of metal in the middle of the road, and I saw it. And when I'm ever on my walks or runs, if I see a screw in the road or a piece of glass or a piece something like that, I always kick it off into the gutter, so save somebody a flat tire, right? And actually, the other day, there's a retired Navy vet in the neighborhood, and he was walking his dog, and he saw me, and I was on one of my laps, and out in the middle of the road, it looked like a piece of a metal that fell off a car or a trailer or something like that, and it for sure was a tire popper instantly. And I was running, and it caught at the corner of my eye, so I stopped, went in the middle of the road, picked it up, ran over to the side of the road, and tossed it off. And he stopped me on my run. He goes, "Thank you for doing that." And I said, "Man, they don't build Americans like that anymore, dude. Like, we're so rare for doing something like that." But that's like an 80-year-old Navy vet who's like, "Dude, how many people went by that and didn't do it?" Yeah. And you actually stopped your run to grab it and do it. And I was like, man, that made me kind of feel kind of good, because we're trying to do one good thing. If I could save one person a flat tire, God already knows how many flat tire problems I have, But the other thing was, the other day I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, I'm trying to, how many steps, do you count your steps?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What do you have?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, 23,500. And the person, like, jaw hit the floor. And they're like, "How are you at 23,500 steps?" I'm like, "Because I run." They're like, "You run?" I'm like, "Yeah, minimum of 7 miles a day." And the lady was so appalled. Two things that this lady said to me. "Wow, you're crazy." I'm like, "No, I'm not crazy. I just care about myself. I run 7 miles a day, minimum." And then the second thing, we were talking about food. I was talking to someone about food and drinks, and because I don't drink, everyone knows that, and we don't drink soda, and we don't, we try to eat clean, and I was like, "Hey," she's like, "So you go to you would go to a restaurant and not drink a beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why would I do that?" And she goes, "Why wouldn't you?" I'm like, "Because there's zero fucking health benefit to a beer. Zero. Yeah. There's 100% no health benefit to alcohol. None." And I said, and also, she goes, "Well, what do your kids get when you go out to the restaurant?" I said, "Water." And they're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, water, no soda. And I'm like, there's no soda or alcohol in my house. I don't host parties. And if I did, it would be a BYOB. And the look, you don't have alcohol or soda in your house. You would have thought I grew 4 heads that had red fire eyeballs and green steam coming out of my nostrils. And I'm like, dude. And the person said, well, I can't live without my Diet Cokes. I'm like, well, good luck curing cancer because you're just drinking you're just like,
live with your Diet Coke.
But people think that I'm crazy. And that's why I said about the Bible verse, it's so simple, but we're just so backwards, man. Like, dude, you don't want to go out to the bar, or you don't want to party, or you don't want to drink soda or beer because it's so, the socially acceptable thing to do. Like, no. And unfortunately, that's the person that looks at themselves in the mirror, can't stand the way they look, and they just don't fucking care. So I'm the crazy one because I care about my physical appearance and the health of my children because I don't let them drink soda. But I'm the crazy one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like people. I said something to you the other day. People need to start getting their feelings hurt, and it really shows right now. People really need to start getting their feelings hurt.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah, it's funny, man. People ask, I tell them so people that don't know what 75 hard is, tell them what it is, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. And they're like, how do you do it? Like, how do you fit that much stuff into a day? I'm like, just do it. It makes me feel better. I know I'm a better person when I do it. I know I'm working on myself. I'm the best version of myself. Yeah. Does it suck to get up at 4:30, 4:45 in the morning every day? Yeah, it's not great. I mean, listen, it'd be nice to just lay in bed and be fine and have the same results, but it doesn't happen. And why do I do it? Because I don't want to take away from the entire time that I have with my kids later in the day when I get home. So I'm always focusing on getting my first workout done before anybody's up, dude. Get back to my house, everybody's still fast asleep, doing their thing. I get showered through, and I'm off to work. I get my second one done usually on my lunch break because I have an hour to kill, so I eat quick, and then I go. I throw away that's not, and I go, and I do it. That way I'm still able to be a present father with my kids when I'm home. And if I'm not, if I haven't gotten them both done, well, you know what? The family gets up and we go and do a family workout. And the kids ride their bikes or they walk, run with us, whatever it may be. But when we go around, because it's cold here, it's the winter, you very rarely see anyone out. If the temperature is below 32 degrees, dude, you barely see anybody, ever. So yeah, I mean, what are these people doing? I know some people have gyms in their house. I get it. And when I go to the gym, there's some people there, but not the whole town. Town isn't there. Most people just hunker down and eat and put on insulation and hold down the fort until the weather clears, and they come out for a month or two, and then that's that. But yeah, dude, it's we are backwards right now. We are backwards to think that people are looking at you and I like the crazy ones because we're doing these things to better ourselves and that normal. Well, Dave Ramsey always says it on the show. Normal's broke. Those people are broke. That's normal. Be weird. Be weird. Do this. Be weird. You know what? We need everybody's help. We got to get this message out to people. People need to hear this. We need more fathers to give a shit and care about becoming a better father, a better version of themselves for their family, for their community, for this country. We need that. So we need to get this message out. Please share the show. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, if you listened to this far into the episode, I'm guessing you're enjoying what you're hearing. Please share the show. Share it with somebody. Tell somebody to listen to it today.
Yeah, and Tom Brady has a great line, and this is a good one. And there's all the debate about, not to be sports related, but it's easy to compare. And everyone talks about Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be the greatest ever and blah, 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 blah. You know what Tom Brady said, because Tom Brady, everyone knows what makes Tom Brady great. I know he's got 7 Super Bowls and he's been to 10. He's the best ever. And until Patrick Mahomes wins 8 Super Bowls, he'll never, ever be the same, because there's one thing that Tom Brady did throughout his career that made him the great ever. Respect the guy. Was never a Patriots fan, but respect the hell out of the guy. He was a fucking great teammate. He didn't go and take the $500 million contract, which he was owed by which he could have taken the highest pay. He could have been the highest paid player in the NFL for 20 straight years because he went to the Super Bowl 10 out of 20 years.
Never did.
Okay. Never once. You know what he did? He took a pay cut every year because he was a great fucking teammate, because he put the team before himself every year. every single year because winning was everything. And delivering that championship for his teammates was everything. But the number one thing that sticks out to me about Tom Brady, he said a line in an interview, and about Tom this, Tom that, you were so great, and what drove you all the time, and always wanted to be a winner. And he said his biggest fucking fear he had was he never wanted to let anybody down. And that should be your biggest fear as a father. You should never want to let your kids down by being broke, by being lazy, by being overweight, by having no faith, by not, you know what I mean? That should be your message. Don't let anybody down. Your spouse, especially your kids. That is the next generation that we have to pass the torch to. And listen, I have a 13-year-old. I have a kid going to high school next year. It is our duty and our responsibility to leave this place better than the way we found it. But I will tell you right now with open honesty, our parents left it better for us, and we fucking ruined it. Our parents had it significantly better than we did. We are not passing off a better country to the next generation than what was given to us.
No, significantly worse. Yep, significantly worse.
And that should be enough. You need motivation, intrinsic motive, whatever you need. First of all, you're going to die one day. If that's not enough to keep you moving and you're a father, then guess what? If your kids don't motivate you to be the best version possible of yourself, then nothing ever will. No amount of anything will ever drive you more than if you're a father. And to see a kid, the look on your kid's face, if you tell them no for something because it's your fault that you can't provide that to them. And I'm not saying lavish vacations and fucking iPad watches and bullshit. I'm talking about your basic necessities and giving them what they need to succeed.
Yep. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like you said, if that doesn't motivate you, nothing's going to motivate you. There's nothing that can do it. When you look into your kid's eyes, and dude, the biggest fear would be them being disappointed in me.
Yep.
Not because of just because they're disappointed because, I don't have time to play with them or something like that, but just disappointed because you know what? They couldn't have something taken care of that they should have. Dad can't go and play because he's exhausted and can't get off his butt to go out there and play, or he's hurt because he's just too out of shape to be able to go and do it. Not be able to send them on field trips for school because you don't have the money to do it. Not be able to let them participate in sports and get into those types of things because you can't do it because you're not working toward excellence.
Yeah, it's sure. Don't let them down. You let yourself down, whatever, dude, but don't let your kids down. Just you can't do it. Nope. And the second message that I have too is, as full force fathers, do we need to be there for each other? So don't be afraid to ask for help. It's so cliche. Everybody says it all the time. You have absolutely no idea what people are going through every single day of their lives. Dude, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you can't do something or you're falling behind or whatever the case may be, it will be okay. Ask for help. Reach out to people. Be kind to people, man, all the time. You hear it, like I said, you hear it all the time. You never know what anyone's going through until it's too late. Reach out and ask for help. If you need help, Dave and I are here. Spread this, like he said, share the show, spread this message. Don't ever be afraid. It's, you know what I mean? You're a man. You can't ask for help. That's a line of shit right there. Ask for help if you need it. Don't let people down and ask for help are two huge takeaways and 2 points that I'm really, really want to drive home on today's episode. Like I said, we got away from full force fathers. It's true core belief and value, but we're back at it. And that's what we're doing. We are promoting messaging of being a full force father and living your life every day to the fullest, being grateful every day when your feet hit the floor that you get another day because you never know when the last day is coming.
Yep. You are 100% spot on.
Oh, and go outside too. That's another good message. I'm perfectly wearing the Get Lost in the Outdoors shirt. As you know,
you're wearing the shirt for it.
If you follow me on Instagram, every day I post a picture that says get outside, whether it's the mountains or it's the hill or it's the sunrise or the sunset. Every day I do it because just like we say, I want one person to go outside. If you're not an outdoor person, dude, Mother Nature changes everything. Perspective. You're having a rough day at work, go for a walk. Dude, just get outside, get out into natural light get away from artificial climate and artificial light and go out. That vitamin D will do wonders for you, man.
Mhm.
Vitamin D will do wonders for you.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, man.
But other than that, Dave, you got anything else you want to throw in here today? I just want no book recommendation. We've done it a bunch of times.
I do.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
No. Yeah, so I love listening and hearing about the Super Bowl prop bets. So there's some good ones this year, okay? So I'm going to throw them out to you. You can either answer and say what you think, or we could just laugh about it and what the ridiculous ones are. You good?
I'm ready.
All right. Gatorade color options for a Gatorade bath for the winning coach. Orange, red, lime green, yellow is one. Clear, blue, or purple.
I'm not interested. But I'd say lime green.
Not interested. Got it. Okay, lime green. Last year, in case you're wondering, it was purple.
Okay.
Ew. All right. You always got the national anthem, how long it's going to be, if somebody's going to forget a word, and if a scoring drive will take less time than the national anthem. So I'll leave it to you. Do you think there's going to be a word left out of the national anthem? We won't go over, under on length or anything like that, but do you think a word will be left out?
No.
Okay. All right. Halftime. First song for Usher. That's one. How many songs will be in the set? That's one. What will Usher's first word be? That's one. And then will Little John make an appearance during the halftime show? I'm going to say, I want your answer. Will Little John make an appearance in the halftime show?
No.
You don't think so? Oh, I think so. I think so. I think.
I mean, if he sings,
yeah,
then I don't know. I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna go with no.
Okay. All right. All right. So these are more Taylor Swift related. Okay. The first, how many times will Taylor Swift be shown on the broadcast? Another one, will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift after the game? Let's see. Will the MVP mention Taylor Swift in the speech? And will Taylor Swift be in the Super Bowl halftime show? I don't actually know if that last one is one. I'm throwing it out there as a potential. I think Taylor comes down and somehow integrates herself into the Usher halftime show. Because what would be better than that?
Well, I read somewhere that she has a show in Japan the day before. So I don't know if she actually will make it back in time. I'm sure she will.
She said she's going to be there. She said she'll be there.
She'll fly private from somewhere in Asia, wherever she's coming from, to Vegas. So it's not terrible because you want to go across the Pacific. If the game was on the East Coast, it would be a little more difficult because now you're adding like 4 hours of flight time.
Okay.
I think, is there an over-under set on how many times she'll be seen? Was there an over-under that was set, or is this a number you want from me?
It doesn't say. I don't see it on the prop bet line here.
I'll say that Travis Kelce.
I'll take a guess out of you.
I'll take Travis Kelce has at least 7 to 8 catches. So that's 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them is a touchdown, that's another one. That's 8. The first touchdown the Chiefs score, which I don't think they're going to score many. Even if it doesn't go to Kelce, they'll show her jumping up and down. That's 9. Before the game, are we talking just right from kickoff to the end of the game? We're not talking pregame and postgame?
No, entire broadcast window. So when they throw it over to the announcers for the game,
when they throw it over to the greatest announcer,
15,
the greatest announcer of all time, Tony Romo.
I'm going to set the line. I'm going to set the line at 15.5.
I'll say over because you're going if you're including pre and post. Romo talking, even though Romo's not a fan, and I've heard him talk about it I've heard him talk about it before, where he's like, "Oh, there's Travis Kelce's wife, ha ha ha," because he doesn't really give a fuck because he cares about football. I'll say over. Say over.
Okay. All right. I think it's interesting. Do you think the liberal heads are going to explode because she's taking a private jet, which is absolutely putting pollutants into the air, which is killing the atmosphere? You know, climate change is a very real thing. Do you think they're going to lose their mind or no? Because it's Taylor Swift, all is well with the world.
Yeah, right. They're going to show her landing at the fucking airport. Are you kidding me? They're not going to care. They're literally going to show that. Mark my words. That will be a clip. It's going to be a clip. They're going to cut to Taylor Swift arriving at the airport on Super Bowl Sunday and getting in a fucking limo or SUV. Guaranteed. Mark it. Write it down. Write it down right now. If you're listening to the show, write it down. Guaranteed they show a clip of her private jet landing at wherever Vegas airport is. She probably lands at a private airport, not the main one. But they're going to show her like the fucking president coming down the escalator. They're going to show her landing in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's I bet you're probably right. That'll be interesting. Yeah. Well, so who's your pick? Who's your pick? Last thing for the Super Bowl. Who's your pick in the Super Bowl?
Oh, it's the Niners. I'm staying with my team. That's my pick all year long. They're my favorite team. Honestly, outside of quarterback, I think they're better at every single position on the field besides kicker and quarterback. Kelsey and Kittle are a wash to me because Kittle's 10 times the blocker, run blocker, and pass blocker that Travis Kelce will ever be. Travis Kelce is the better pass catcher, but that's also because he has Patrick Mahomes. So outside of quarterback and kicker, the Niners are better everywhere else on the field. I will say that the Niners win, and this is going to shock people. It may come back to haunt me. I don't think the Chiefs score 17 points, and the Niners are gonna win by double digits.
Ooh, boy!
Wow. I could be wrong, but I think the Niners win easily. I don't think it's that close.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, listen. For you, I hope that is the case. I do think the 49ers are the significantly better team on paper, but until somebody beats Patrick Mahomes, I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes.
Listen, if nobody beats him this year and he had to go through Miami, Buffalo, Baltimore, and the Niners, he'll never lose again. Listen, and this is not me hating on the Chiefs. This is not me hating on the Chiefs. Everyone don't think that. Patrick Mahomes, I was telling you, is one of the three most, talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. I'm not taking his greatness away from ever. He is by far the best quarterback in the NFL. So I'm not taking anything away from him. He is that great. I just think the 49ers are that better of a team. And I would give Andy Reid slight head coach matchup over Shanahan. But if no one beats the Chiefs this year, if the Niners can't do it this year, then it's not going to be done. Because this, you would argue, good Chiefs defense, their worst offense in the 6 years that Mahomes has been the starter.
Yep, for sure.
So, anyways, go pick up a Bible. That's your book of the day. Pick up a Bible and read it. Read it. Ask questions. Go to church. Ask anybody that you know that is in tune with their faith. It doesn't have to be a Catholic church or Christian. Just go ask questions. Be inquisitive. Think outside the box. And also, one more tip. I've thrown a lot of tips out today. Turn off the news. That's what I'm going to end with.
I love it. Everybody get out there, continue to live the full force life. As we ask, share the show. If you made it this far into the episode, you liked the episode, share it to somebody. Somebody else needs to hear this message. We need to make this country better, one father at a time. We'll see you next week.